So we got the bell housing kind of cleaned up. Took 2 cans of brake clean and a lot of scrubbing. It was like tar. It was all that oil and fiber from the clutch. I had to scrape it off and then clean it a couple more times, but I still got to get a little bit more off. But man, it was really in here. You have your throwout bearing, which I've removed along with the shift lever, with the shift dog, shift fork. Now, to get the throwout bearing on, you don't need to take anything apart. Take your shift dog, which is gone now over here. You'll see it move back and forth. You'll see it move back and forth. And if you take the lever that's now gone and just violently flip it, the bushing, the bearing with the bushing will come right off. You don't need to remove the shift fork. If you have to work on your seal back here, you got to remove the fork and the shaft. It has a nut, actually a bolt. It's been Loctite redded in, I think. So it turns real hard. Don't break it. Once you get that bolt off, the shaft is supposed to just slide out, leaving the fork behind. It didn't just slide out. I had to heat it up. Now, I took my torch, and I'll show you what I heated up. God, this cat's back because I started talking. So, this is the bearing. Okay, every time you push the clutch, when people say don't ride the clutch, this is the bearing you wear out when you ride the clutch. Listen. Okay, it's on. The right is the transmission side, the left is the engine side. Okay, so it goes like that. It rides inside this fork on this thing here, which was hot a second ago, so hold on, it's still hot. Ah, get away, you made me burn myself. So, see, it's got those little ears. They go in here. And when you push the clutch pedal, this moves the clutch back and forth. And this is the throwout bearing that you're wearing out because you got your foot in the clutch all the time. To get it out of the transmission, you just violently flip that lever back and forth and maybe pull on it and it just comes right off. But if you've got to work on your seal, you've got to take that bolt out and then just slide the shaft out of there. Yeah, that doesn't work. I heated that part, and I heated it not on a big flame, but I heated it a long time, and I rotated it back and forth while I was heating it. Then there's not any way to really do a lot with it other than to take it and grab it here and go bang, bang, bang. And I'd be careful because you don't want to break anything. I was doing it kind of hard. But then put it back in all the way and see if your fork's still lined up or if it's off center, which means you moved it, which means, okay, keep banging it till it comes out. Mine wasn't too bad. The book acts like just slide the shaft out. Well, it didn't just slide out. Okay, I had to heat it up and find some way to hammer on it, so I just used the shaft itself instead of resorting to more violent methods. There's a couple places on this tractor that the book calls for fluid or, like Loctite to be used, and different types of Loctite. That bolt I showed you over there is one of those places. Another place is a special gasket maker for the top of the transmission, forward reverse shifter. If you took that out like I did, you've got to have something there. And the book says nothing about sealing this, but it is sealed. And I looked at what is on there, and the closest I can come to is it's ultra gray. I think it's Permatex. I've used it before. I know it'll seal it. It'll stay pliable, and you don't need a lot of it. I've sealed a Honda manual transmission that leaks. No matter what you put on it, it'll leak, and it didn't leak with the ultra gray. There's no fluid in here. There's nothing to leak out. We're trying to keep stuff from getting in there, okay? So you're going to want to put ultra gray on this when you put it back together. So we've got some type of Loctite there, some kind of Loctite there, ultra gray here. I'll look up the 2 different Loctites. I just ordered them from Amazon and tell you what they are and which one goes where. But now I'm going to pull that transmission seal thing out of there. Also, you will need access to a hydraulic press unless you're going to live dangerously and do it some other way, because the book says that to replace this bearing, see how it's not falling off here? See that bushing? Let's see if I'm right. Well, the bushing doesn't go on top of the bearing, it stops behind it, but the book says I've got to use a hydraulic press and press that bushing out of here to get this bearing out. So I'll let you know how that works. You might be able to bang it out with a big socket, but I've got a hydraulic press. So this has to be replaced. You don't want to not replace Even if it sounds good, replace it. They're $70 or whatever, but replace them. You don't need this going bad after you do all this work. The race car place says that the clutch will be ready Monday. Today is Wednesday, I guess. And lots of stuff is coming in over the weekend or Monday, so I think in the next 7 days it'll be up and running, which is good because on September 1st, they're shoeing horses right here, and this tractor's going to be on the way, and I can't move it. I don't know if I'm going to make that deadline. What? Here, say hello to everybody, because you're such a pain in the ass. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. There you go. Okay. You done?